We live in a world overflowing with connection and yet starving for belonging. You can have hundreds of contacts, thousands of contacts. You have thousands of followers. You can have an inbox full of messages and still feel like you're walking through the world alone. And this isn't a failure. It's a mismatch between the way humans evolved and the way that we live now. Humans weren't designed for audiences. We were designed for circles, small groups, shared rhythm, mutual support, real faces and real voices and real presence. And deep down, you feel this truth in your bones. No matter how connected the digital world becomes, your body still longs for a village, not a network, a circle. Let's begin with somebody you know well, because at some level, this story is your story too. She wakes up, she scrolls through her phone, she sees updates from people she hasn't spoken to in years. She sees likes, she sees comments, photos, announcements. Everything moves fast, but nothing really lands. At work, she switches between screens, emails, messages, video chats, chat threads, and she's connected all day long, surrounded by communication, surrounded by opinions, surrounded by noise, and yet she feels numb, drained, disconnected, almost hollow. Because none of these digital touches create real human resonance. In fact, the more she engages with these shallow forms of connection, the more she loses touch with the deeper, slower human ones. Now, compare that with this moment. Her weekly gathering with three close friends. They put their phones away, they light a couple candles, they've got warm tea on the table, and they share stories in real time. Laughter fills the room, and they have face-to-face energy that reminds her of something she didn't even realize that she was missing. Safety, warmth, presence, belonging. This is the contrast that defines our era. Hyper-connected and deeply lonely. It's not that we lack people, it's that we lack circles. Let's talk science. Humans evolved in small, tight-knit communities, ranging from 5 to 12 people. The scale at which our nervous system thrives is because of three key mechanisms wired into our body. First, co-regulation. Your nervous system calms in the presence of calm, attuned to others. This is why being in a small, trusted group reduces anxiety and increases resilience. Number two, mirror neurons. When you sit with people physically present, your brain synchronizes with theirs. You feel more understood, you feel more grounded, you feel more connected. And this cannot be replicated through social media. Three, oxytocin release. Real connection, eye contact, touch, shared vulnerability. It releases oxytocin, which strengthens trust and reduces stress. Digital communication does not trigger this biological bonding system. In short, your body is built for circles. Not crowds, not followers, not feeds, not audiences, but small groups that activate the parts of your nervous system that make you feel alive. For thousands of years, human life was lived in circles. Women gathering to cook, men working together in coordinated tasks, elders offering guidance, children raised by the collective, community rituals, shared meals, sacred rhythms. We didn't choose this. It was simply how life worked. But in a single generation, we have shifted into a structure built around individuality. Individual homes, individual goals, individual careers, individual screens. We gained freedom, but we lost the container that made life human. The village didn't disappear, it scattered. It went dormant. It dissolved into pixels and profiles. But the longing that we need for this never left. And now in this digital age, we have an opportunity to rebuild the village. Not as it was, but as it could be. Conscious, intentional, purpose-driven, human-centered. This is the return of the village. Not in geography, but in design. Most people chase an audience. They want reach and visibility and attention and numbers. But having a following, it does not create belonging. It creates performance. You don't grow in front of an audience. You grow in front of a circle. A circle doesn't watch you. A circle holds you. A circle isn't impressed by your highlights. A circle walks with you on the hard days. A circle isn't interested in your branding. A circle is interested in your becoming. A following gives you reach, and a circle gives you roots. And in a world addicted to visibility, roots matter more than ever. Psychologists now know that micro communities of 4 to 10 people are the most effective environment for behavior change, emotional healing, accountability, creative growth, identity formation, nervous system regulation, long term transformation. The list goes on and on. Micro communities thrive because they feel safe enough for honesty and small enough for intimacy. They create what researchers call psychological holding environments, places where you can be seen and supported and challenged and reflected without judgment. A circle is not a luxury, it's a biological and psychological need. In the digital age, you no longer inherit your village, you build it. You choose your people, you choose your rhythm, you choose the energy, and you choose the purpose. You design the space where your humanity is not just accepted, but amplified. Ask yourself, who are the 5 people who make me feel most alive? Who listens without trying to fix me? Who inspires me to grow? Who brings peace to my nervous system? Who can I be unmasked with? Who do I want to rise with? These people, they are your circle, not followers, not acquaintances, not an audience. A circle is something else entirely. It's chosen, it's sacred, it's reciprocal, and it's human. Now, let's go back to our story. She begins noticing something. The people she sees in person, even just once a week, create a deeper shift than all the digital communication combined. She starts hosting small gatherings, a monthly dinner, a walking club, a book circle, a shared meditation, a creative morning. Nothing fancy, just presence. Slowly, she realizes something profound. She feels less alone, not because her life changed, but because her circle came alive. This is the transformation that returns you to yourself. You shift from connected but lonely to supported and seen. You shift from audience to village. And when that happens, life feels real again. Inside the impossible prompt, one of the core outcomes is helping you return to real human experience, and that includes circles. During the calibration and reflection process, the system reveals where you feel disconnected, what types of people nourish your nervous system, what environments help you to open up, how your personality builds belonging, how you can create community in a way that feels natural, what micro community structure matches your energy. Then the protocol guides you to design a circle that feels aligned with your soul, not forced, not performative, not overwhelming, a circle that enhances your humanity, a circle that co-regulates your nervous system, a circle that helps you rise, and a circle that reminds you that you were never meant to do life alone. Something inside you already knows this. You were not designed for isolation. You were not designed for constant digital performance. You were not designed to carry your life alone. You were designed for shared breath and for shared fire and for shared truth and for shared becoming. The village is not gone. It is waiting for you to rebuild it with intention and clarity and heart and presence. And this is your awakening, the realization that belonging is not luck, it's design. And this is your motivation to understand that even one micro community can transform the emotional architecture of your entire life. You don't need a following. You don't need a platform. You don't need a network. You need a circle. If you feel something opening up in you, if this has resonated with you, if you feel ready to rebuild human connection in a digital age that constantly keeps us apart, then this is your moment. Request your private invitation to the impossible prompt. Because the future is not about followers. The future is about circles. The future is about community. The future is about shared humanity. And the village is returning, and you belong in it.